I need to take back something that I said in an old video. I do believe in the Pizzagate theory. Now, I did some digging, a lot of digging, and here's what I find extremely strange about the whole situation. First of all, why is it even called Pizzagate? Well, after Watergate, every scandal got gate afterwards. So it's really about the pizza, okay? And it's not even that pizza shows up in the files. That's not why I find it so strange. I find it strange that in 2016, when Pizzagate had reached the height of itself, right? A man from North Carolina named Edgar went to Washington, D.C. with a pow pow, went to Comet Ping Pong Pizza, and just started blasting. Then, what's strange about that is everyone in the restaurant, workers and guests, all that, they got out safely. Great, wonderful. I'm glad no one got hurt. He went to a closet that was locked and just started blasting, destroyed the closet. What was inside that closet? The restaurant's computer system. All that gone. I find that strange. Find it even stranger that after doing a 4 year stint in prison for what he did at Comet Ping Pong Pizza, he gets out, and then in 2025, he is a passenger in a traffic stop. He gets into an altercation with the police officer he has pow powed himself. He's no longer with us. Not to mention, this guy was an actor. Yeah, it's very strange.
What if they're not just eating them? What if they are giving them to the aliens as a sacrifice? That the aliens are Moloch, okay? Hear me out. I saw another creator on this app talking about this, so I can't take full credit for it. But what she was saying is in 1954, Eisenhower supposedly had 3 meetings with extraterrestrials. First the Nordics and then the Greys. And then eventually a deal was reached with the Greys. We just don't know what that deal was. What if the deal was humans in exchange for technology? Because since 1954, baby, we have been booming. You know what else is booming? Missing people in this country. Also, UFO sightings in this country, sky high. It doesn't happen in any other country, but in the UFO, we stay seeing, oh shit. But in the USA, we stay seeing UFOs. Now, why are the aliens Moloch? Moloch was an entity way back when, actually mentioned in the Bible a few times. In Leviticus, it actually says God commands you not to give your children to Moloch. Okay, but don't sacrifice your children to Moloch, because Moloch was this entity of, bull horns, and he had a fire inside of him, and he wanted you to throw your children into the fire, and then he would stop the famine, or he would make your crops grow. Basic necessities for the ultimate sacrifice. What I'm saying is, what if the aliens, extraterrestrials, whatever the hell is up there that we keep seeing in the sky, what if they're the modern day Moloch, and these elites, these rich folk, whatever you want to call them, are making sacrifices? Hey, have you ever heard of the deity Moloch? He shows up in the Bible several times, right? In the Old Testament, they are warning the Israelites, do not follow the practices of Moloch, because the Canaanites and the surrounding cultures were following this deity, right? And then in Leviticus, God warns, do not give your children to Moloch. And then in Kings and Jeremiah, we find out what happens when people go into this valley and they sacrifice their children to Moloch. You see, Moloch was this deity that was related closely with child sacrifice, and then he would reward that child sacrifice. Reward in quotations, okay? Because back then, people believed that if they sacrificed their child to Moloch, it would end the war or end the famine. And that's just not how shit works, okay? And God tried to tell them, like, don't do this. They did it anyways, and it is known as one of the greatest corruptions of all time. Now, some scholars believe that Moloch wasn't an actual deity, but Moloch refers to a type of offering, the ultimate sacrifice for survival. So whether you believe he was a deity or Moloch is a word meaning sacrifice, either way it goes. I made a video about Moloch and the elites in this country a little bit earlier, and it was taken down for integrity reasons. Just keep that in mind.